Welcome to the GSS 3166-091 Risk Management course. I am Dr. Bill Perkins, your professor for this semester, and we're just going to navigate around the course and give you a quick orientation and go over the syllabus and some expectations. All right, so when you log on to Blackboard, you should be first navigated here to the home page. And this is where you will find the required textbook for the course. It's Business Continuity and Risk Management by Henderson and Engelman. There's the ISBN number, so all the details are right here for you to make the purchase of the textbook. Don't worry if you don't have the textbook in the first couple weeks. I know it's going to take some time for some of you to order it, so you'll have enough details in my lecture and some of the course information that I'm going to put onto Blackboard for you to get by through the quizzes, preparation for the exams, and also to your discussion questions. So you should pretty much get enough in the lecture for the time being. You are going to want the textbook as we progress through the course. There's going to be some statistics involved in this course. Now, it's not a math course, or a business statistics course. So don't worry if you need to brush up. There's plenty of resources on YouTube, and we'll help you get through it. Because when you talk about risk management, of course, you're talking about probability and impact. So, of course, there's going to be some statistics involved. But anyway, so here's your textbook. Next is, you'll see down where you have your course syllabus right here. And when you click on that, you'll be navigated to the syllabus for the course. So, I'm just going to go over the purpose of the course. This course explores the area of business continuity and risk management in a comprehensive manner to provide for organizational resilience. Particular emphasis is placed on assessing threats which may lead to disastrous events, evaluating control alternatives, and implementing strategies. Practical solutions to enable an organization to mitigate risk, manage crisis, and recover after a disaster are discussed, and the course is designed to expose the student to all aspects of a holistic business continuity and risk management program and to determine the most appropriate requirements. So you think about everything that's happening now with COVID-19 and what you've probably experienced in your own organization or have seen local organizations deal with challenges, and even non-local if you watch the news, and we're talking about organizations of all shapes and sizes. So, you couldn't have taken a better time to take this course. So I think you're going to get quite a bit out of it. You're going to be a valued asset to your organization, and you're going to have a lot of the methodologies needed to lead an organization through crisis. Here's your learning outcomes, goals, and objectives. You may want to go through them. Here's your learning goals. Now, much of these are also associated with the basic goals of the university. And these are specific course learning objectives. You're going to develop and organize a business continuity management program. When I talk a little bit about the case study that'll be up and coming, that's when you're going to get into organizing an actual program. You're going to conduct a business impact analysis, conduct a risk assessment, select the most appropriate strategies when it comes down to risk management and business continuity, review disaster recovery for information technology. If any of you are, IT students, this is a great course for you, especially for business opportunities. after this course. This is a hot topic area right now, especially with pandemic response and emergency and crisis operations, contingency planning. So IT is a huge part of it. We'll touch on it in the course, but just like how this is not a statistics course, this is also not an IT course. But still, if you are an IT student or have an IT background, you can really get a lot out of this course as far as building opportunities for yourself, in your professional life. Coordinate procedures for activating emergency operations, develop and implement a business continuity plan, develop effective crisis communications, and test and maintain organizational resilience. That's a huge part of it too. I mean, this is really all about building resilience for your organization, for organizations to at least be able to navigate through the white waters of turbulent change that crises like pandemics, can present. All right, so here we're going to go through our course configuration and schedule, and just take a look. Here are it's a 15-week program. Here are the corresponding dates in the next column, and I kind of go through what chapters we're going to cover. We kind of hit the ground running with this course because of, it is a 17-chapter textbook, so there's a lot to cover in 15 weeks. What you will notice, however, about the textbook is that the chapters are very short. They're very digestible. Okay, so no need to worry. Don't panic. We're going to get through them. It's just that we will have to double up on some of the chapters. But what you will notice is that the workload I give you is very manageable. And what you can expect as we'll go on is that you'll pretty much have a video lecture, a discussion board question, and a quiz for almost every chapter. There are 2 chapters towards the end where I double them up. Chapters 14 and 15, you'll see where you'll have one discussion board question and one, actually you will have, one quiz for both of them, and same for chapters 16 and 17. Course evaluations, you're going to have exams. Like I said, you're going to have quizzes. There's going to be discussion questions. And the project will essentially be a comprehensive case study. Grading's pretty straightforward. Just because we are an online course doesn't mean that, we aren't going to be very cold about the grading. I am very objective. The numbers that you earn are essentially the numbers that are applied for grading. Okay, and that's not meant to sound cold. It is what it is. So, I am very approachable. If you have issues throughout the semester, if I see that you're logging on, because I can pretty much track all the progress that you're making, if you're actually watching the video lectures, if you're participating, if you're taking your quizzes on time, if you're doing well with the quizzes and you're doing well with the exams, or at least trying the exams and making attempts at doing well, answering your discussion board questions on time, that maybe there will be opportunities for extra credit assignments if need be. Okay, so I'm very approachable. I am also very objective about the grading. Your points are essentially your points. In the end, I kind of go with the automatic calculations that Blackboard does in the grade book, and essentially Blackboard will spit out a final total points, and I kind of just apply that to this scale you see down here with the points and the associated letter grade. Okay, so names are really out of the equation. I don't even really get to see faces, or get to know you through the semester other than, your posts on the discussion boards. So, this is a very, very objective grading. So if you are going to need extra points, make sure you're putting the work in, make sure you are getting your discussion questions done on time. If you are essentially, blowing off the work, and not even really trying on the quizzes, and then you come to me in a panic towards the end of the semester, saying that you need some extra points for extra credit, chances are I'm going to say no. Okay. So, but if you're trying and you're putting the work in, and I see the rigor and you are putting it in and you're trying, then chances are, and all the data is there for me. I can see what dates you logged on, to watch a lecture. I can see when you took your quiz. I can see when you access your discussion board. So chances are we can work something out as far as extra credit assignments. So if you took this course just because, hey, it's a very interesting topic, it's very relevant to contemporary challenges organizations are facing, you're just not, it's just not in your aptitude to do well in certain chapters of the course, like as far as the statistics go and all that, but I see that you're trying, then, that'll work in your favor because I will give you opportunities to get some extra credit then. So there's plenty of low-hanging fruit in this course for you to get a great grade, and I'd like to see you get a great grade. I'd like to see all of you excel. These are just some basic policies you need to look at. I am going to highlight the cheating and the plagiarism because so far in the last two semesters, I have caught students engaged in plagiarism. One, because of the magnitude of plagiarism, and it was kind of like borderline plagiarism. I did run it through the dean and the assistant dean of the business school, and I was given insight on how the school wanted me to handle it, and they just essentially lost all their points, and they struggled to pass the course, whereas another student was flat out taken out of the course altogether, and I believe expelled from the school. So listen, like when I said I put a lot of low-hanging fruit out there, the discussion questions, they're easy questions. If you just look over the chapters, every chapter is pretty much an easy read until you get into some of the statistics on the assignments. But as far as the reading goes for the framework, all the chapters are pretty easy reads. Just if you're going to answer a discussion question, do some more paraphrasing into your own words. If you are going to take something from online sources, I do look at your answers and I do run them through, different software. I'll flat out, copy and paste your answer into Google, and it usually takes me right to where you got your info from. And, you don't want to be word for word. And if you are going to paraphrase directly from a site, at least put the URL between parentheses of where you got your information from. But I do know about Chegg, and I do know about Homework Answers apps, so I look at them as well. And last semester, one student who lost all the points that he was trying to make progress in the course was essentially taking answers directly from Chegg and then maybe changing one or two words to try to make it his own work. That is not making it your own work, okay? So just know that I have my eye on those sites. I know what the answers that they're giving you to my questions are. So, if you are going to use Chegg as your source of information, you may want to synthesize what the answer Chegg's giving you is and then make your own applications to make that answer your own still. But if I see that you're taking it from Chegg or you're stealing it from another source, you and I are going to have a very unfavorable conversation, unfortunately, and you're either going to lose all the points associated with those assignments, or the business school will decide whether or not you can even stay in my course. So just please put the work in, make the work your own work, and let's get through this semester without any incidents. These are just some of my expectations. Just because we are not, synchronous face to face, I want you all to have a respect for one another, especially on the discussion board assignments. So, I have seen, disagreements break out on discussion questions, not so much in this course, but you shouldn't have any discussion questions that are going to solicit opinion. Everything should be factual. Just be very respectful with one another on these on the discussion questions. Also, to refrain from using any foul language or anything like that. I mean, we're all professionals. Risk management is a professional career. So, if you're engaged in a risk management course, you kind of want to put yourself into that role of being a risk manager for an organization and kind of play the part, right? Okay, so be professional. Be professional in your assignments. I will tell you, as far as your case study goes, I do not accept any text messaging lingo in there as you write your paragraphs. I am big on grammar. This is not an English course, but when you look at your rubric, when I go to post your case study, you will notice that mechanics, grammar are all part of the rubric. And these are just some ideas on how to succeed in this course. Everything's pretty straightforward. I'm pretty easygoing. I do, as far as maintaining that easygoingness, I do expect that there's transparency and communication, and that you're on the forefront of communicating with me. Do not reach out to me the final week of class to start talking about your grades, or the fact that you missed 10 of the 15 discussion questions and you want to know why your grade's so low. You want to make sure that you have transparency and communication, and then you're communicating with me on a regular basis if you have any challenges. Here's codes of conduct, sexual harassment, sexual discrimination, totally zero tolerance. Special needs and all that. Everybody kind of has their own, they know the protocol from the business school. So everything pretty much applies and, derives straight from university policy. Just want to pay attention here to your grading. And there's the course schedule. So we will be engaged in chapter 1 right away. This week, it's an easy chapter. It's the introduction chapter. I already have a video lecture, as you'll see here in a minute. Discussion board and quiz. All right, so we're back to the home page. I also put the fall academic calendar in there. All right, so over here to the left, this is your main menu. The only thing I don't have on the main menu right now is your case study, because I haven't posted it yet. But you will see case study over here eventually, and I'll make an announcement. I'm going to be good at communicating with you on at least a weekly basis as far as the announcements go. And for announcements, as you scroll down, you'll see course announcements right here. Okay, so we're going to go back up, and here we are in week 1. And I have the corresponding dates. What you're going to notice as well is I do not start the academic week on a Sunday, okay? Because I know for many of you who work, that Saturday and Sunday is really the time that you have for your coursework. So I like to make Sunday the end of your academic week, with the beginning of your academic week being on a Monday. But this week, the semester started on a Tuesday, so that's the only day you lose. But like I said, it's a pretty easy chapter in the book. I know some of you may have the textbook already. If you do not, just take notes from my lecture. Here's the lecture. I just jumped over here. So every week, I will give you a date when the expectations and deliverables are due. And it's always going to be Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Unless something happens in the semester with the case study where I will demand the case study to be turned in by a different day other than a Sunday, but I really can't see that happening. And, it's going to be pretty straightforward. You're going to know what's expected of you each week. I try to be very organized on the Blackboard to make it easy for you to understand and know what's expected of you for that week. So you're going to read chapter 1 in the textbook. You're going to watch the chapter 1 lecture. So if you don't have the textbook yet, we're not in any chapters where you're going to have to, perform any type of analysis with statistics. So don't worry about not having the textbook this chapter, but you are going to want to have it soon. And also, too, you're going to need it for the case study. So you're going to watch the chapter 1 lecture, and you're going to answer the chapter 1 discussion question, and you're going to take the chapter 1 quiz. And here we are. These are just the chapter objectives from the textbook. And like I said, here's your lecture. You will have a lecture posted for each respective chapter. Here's the quiz. Okay. It's going to be made available here in a minute. So each quiz is set to where you can take the quiz up to 5 times. Okay. I will not reset a quiz for a 6th attempt. Okay. So make sure you're smart about taking your quizzes. You may want to have like a notebook with you to go over, your Q&A, what your responses are to the questions, and you'll get feedback from the quiz as far as what you got right, and then you need to look at what you got wrong. But you get 5 attempts, because you should also be using these quizzes to prepare yourself for the exams. Okay, so the exams will be closely associated with the quizzes. So if you do well on the quizzes, and by your 5th attempt you're doing extremely well on your quiz, you should do well on the exam. Okay. Now, do not attempt the quiz until after you take your notes from the lecture. Okay, but in 5 attempts on that quiz, you should have each quiz is going to have 20 questions. And until you get into the more complex work in the later chapters, then you may have only 10 questions to a quiz, and there'll be 2 points instead of 1 point per question. But all the quizzes are worth 20 points, and you'll have 15 quizzes for a total of 300 points in accordance with your syllabus. And then here's your chapter discussion question. Okay, and I do expect that these questions are going to be answered in paragraph formatting. Okay, I don't want bullets. I don't want something that looks like a text message to a friend. What I do want is an opening sentence, supporting sentences to your assessment, and then a conclusion. Okay, So try with your opening sentence. Give that thesis statement. What are you about to say? Then you're going to have your main points to why you believe that. And then in conclusion, you want to revisit and draw connections to your thesis statement of to substantiate that you actually answered the question and covered the material. That's all it is. Those are the basic mechanics of writing a paragraph, and I expect you to know how to write a paragraph. Some questions, if they're more complex, I might demand 2 paragraphs for full points. Okay, but just like the quizzes, your discussion questions are also worth 20 points, and there will be 15 of them. When you get into some of the chapters that cover statistics, your discussion question may be problem solving. And that's essentially it and each week will look like that. Next week, when I put, as I work throughout this week, I put next week's material on Blackboard. You will see 2 lectures, and you will see 2 quizzes and 2 discussion questions. Okay. Eventually, things level out. And the one thing you will like about this course, as you will see when we go back to the syllabus, and we're going to navigate back down to, here's your schedule, is that when we have an exam, the exams are going to be just like the quizzes, where they're going to be built into Blackboard. I do not grade your exam. Blackboard does. The one thing I am going to foot stomp is that make sure you have, and you'll see it the way it's written in your syllabus. I go over the exams. You want to make sure you have a strong internet connection. If 25% of your exam has been completed already, chances are, the grade you get is the grade you get. And there is an auto submit feature. So you want to make sure that you don't do something erroneous or lose an internet connection on your exam. If something goes wrong with your exam and it's early on in the exam, you're going to have to reach out to me, and I will have a backup exam for you. Usually backup exams are essay only. Okay, so you're going to be writing essays. I don't think it's fair to other students that you get to take the same exam over again once you have seen all the questions on the exam. And, these are the type of challenges we have in online courses, but I still give you an opportunity through essays to make sure that you take those exams. So, since if I were in your shoes, I really would not want to have an all essay exam. I probably would enjoy the multiple choice questions, especially if a lot of them are connected with questions I've seen before in the quizzes. And I feel like I have a leg up that way. I would not want to try to game the system. Okay, so, take the exams, take them in accordance with the rules. Don't game the system. And it really is low-hanging fruit for you to get a great score and a great those points to a great overall grade. Okay, so that's what I wanted to go over with the exams. But what you will notice is on the weeks where there is an exam, you have 2 of them. It's almost like a midterm and final format. There's nothing else assigned. So once you take your exams, you essentially get a week off there. And also, too, for the final, I'd like to do a review, and just the case study is going to be due that week. So we start to taper down as far as the work goes. Okay. Chapters 14 and 15, 16 and 17, like I said, you'll essentially have 1 quiz and 1 discussion board question. So the information from those chapters are combined. However, it's going to be the same workload as if you only had 1 chapter for those respective weeks. So, okay, we're going to go back to Blackboard. So I covered this week, but every week hereafter, um, there's going to be no surprises. And when I make the announcement for your case study, just look over here in the menu and you'll see a case study, and then I'll have all the details, including the grading rubric, posted because I'm very transparent about the grading. Okay, there are no surprises with me. And that's it. So we have a breakdown of the entire semester here. And this is all that's going to be expected of you. You start on Monday. Here we are here on a Tuesday because that's when school's starting. But here, next Monday, you're going to be able to click on and all your material expectations, deliverables, everything that's going to be expected of you. Click on there, and here it is. So by the 20th at 11:59 p.m., students are going to be expected to have accomplished. You're going to read chapters 2 and 3. You're going to watch the chapters 2 and 3 lectures. So, and again, I believe those are pretty straightforward, pretty easy chapters, light reading. So if you don't have your textbook yet by the end of next week because you bought it from another party other than the bookstore should have them because I did collaborate with the bookstore and they knew what text I was using right after the spring semester. So they should have the textbook. But if you do get your textbook from another source or you choose to rent it or whatever and it just didn't come in by next week, you ought to be able to get by with the lecture material next week as well. And that really is all I have. It's a pretty straightforward, pretty easy course. You have access to the syllabus to go over it during your own time. And like I said, there's textbook information. All this is on the home page. And I look forward to this course with you this semester. And like I said, please be upfront and transparent throughout the course. Communicate with me regularly if there's any issues. Please do not wait to the following week. Usually the following week, everybody's hustling to get the final grades in and everything. And I really would not have time to be grading any extra credit assignments or anything like that. So you want to be on top of your grades throughout the semester. And that's all I have. Any other questions, you know how to get in touch with me. You can email me, write in the syllabus. You can text me. Very accessible, very easy to get a hold of. And I look forward to this semester with you. Good luck, everyone, and good luck in your other courses. This is Dr. Perkins signing out.